It's 5 p.m.
All right, quiet on the set.
Shh, listen.
5, 4, 3, 2, 1. Let's start the party.
Broadcasting around the world. Polkas After Dark. This is your number one internet station. The music you love right here, right now. Polkas After Dark. It's another live broadcast. Special edition. Now your hosts, Rob and Jerry.
Hey, well, as you can see in my comment, Jerry is MIA, but she's got a good reason. She's got a good excuse. She is shopping with her daughter, Justina, and they are looking for some cool clothes for mom to wear at the USPA. And let's see, so they should be leaving Goodwill in about 20 minutes, and then she's got a little bit of a ride home. Hey, we want to welcome you guys to the Sunday afternoon broadcast right here on Polkas After Dark, our Sunday afternoon edition where the crazy people meet on the weekend to have fun. And if you're crazy just like us, well, you've come to the right place. And guess what? We are going to be interviewing live right here on Polkas After Dark Mr. Kevin Altenburg. He's going to be joining us from Illinois shortly. We want to say hello to Dawn Suhan Rogers. Let's see here. Was anyone else here 2 hours early? No, I wasn't here 2 hours early. I have a big clock set, and then it goes off and says, "You are about to do a broadcast." It's our Google Home, which is kind of cool. Hey, we want to show this. I don't believe I have ever shown this before, but this is a really, really cool video that was done many years ago. I want to say probably, it's got to be more than 11 years ago. I have a funny feeling. It's a video by Catch, C-A-T-C-H, and it is shown by, or recorded by Mr. Joey Darris, also Kevin Altenburg, and I got to find out who the rest of the people were in the video, but we're going to try to bring that up for you guys right now. Check this out.
Yellow sun climbing up the mountainside. We had a drink, slipped back down. They asked me if I'd seen his bride sitting around. To let him know, he told me so. Tomorrow will be a sunny day. Well, I've just seen seventh yellow sun, crying his eyes out in the rain. For dinner rise, to my surprise, there goes the rain. told me twice, run with your heart, you'll pay the price. Just let her go. I wish I'd known tomorrow would be a sunny day. Well, I've just seen seventh yellow sun crying his eyes out in the rain. Looked in her eyes, to my surprise it goes the rain.
Really cool way to start out a Sunday afternoon broadcast right here on Polkas After Dark. The crazy guy playing the bass guitar, that is Mr. Kevin Altenburg, and he's going to be joining us in just a little while. Hey, folks, we want to say hello to a bunch of people that are occupying the chat room and in Facebook right now. That, of course, is Mr. Rick Bukowski. He's here. Rick Beekler is also joining us this afternoon. Barb Morose, hello to you. Larry Kutas is watching. And let's see here. Who else do we have? We have Mary Jow. Hello to you, Mary Jar. Let's see. Who else? Tracy Kapka-Meyer. Hello to you. Don Suhan Rogers is here. Chris Curtis. Thank you for sending me those tickets. I've got to show those in just a little while, which I'm sure we will. Lou Burka is here. Good afternoon, Lou, and welcome once again to Polkas After Dark. Wally Richkowski is joining us. Hello to you, Wally. And let's see, who else is here? David O'Brien is tuned in. Chris Tansky is here. Yeah, Chris, I'm solo for a little while until Jerry gets home from shopping. We'll tell you all about that. And let's see, who else is here? Mr. Michael Pasheb from WXRL's AM 1300, 95.5 FM, and WXRL.com. Jill Stachinsky is tuned in from Wisconsin. Hello to you. Chris Ebel, I believe he's out there in Minnesota. Hello to you. Hello to Don Zastavina Ramanzo. Boy, 2 days in a row, we are graced with your presence, young lady. We are going to have a lot of fun here today. Edwin Ryeski, hello to you, Edwin. Also, Mr. Ricky Bernier is here. Hello, Rick, and we got to get a hold of you to do an interview. I promised you that. Oh, gosh, last year when you accepted the award at the convention, and I promised you that, and gosh, almost a whole year has gone by. So, Rick, make sure that you get a hold of me in a private message. But, you know, guys, you heard a little bit of that song called The Seventh Yellow Sun. You've heard us play that numerous times here on Polkas After Dark. Hello to Andrew Perot and also to Nick Yash. Nick Yash is here. He can't wait until we get Mr. Kevin Altenburg in the hot seat. But right now, here is that same song that you just heard by Catch. It's a song we love playing all the time. It's in the car. It's in the house. We just love blasting this throughout. Here's the polka version by Freeze Dried, featuring Mr. Kevin Altenburg, of course, and Joey Darris. Here's one called Seventh Yellow Sun, the polka version. Hey, you're tuned to Polkas After Dark, the afternoon Sunday version. Thanks for joining us right here. If you've got surround sound, turn it up, pop it on the TV, whatever you got to do, and just relax. Kick back and have yourself a drink, or two, or maybe three.
Well, I've just seen the seventh yellow sun climbing up the mountainside. We had a drink, slid back down. He asked me if I'd seen his bride sitting around. To let him know, he told me so. Tomorrow would be a sunny day. And I've just seen the seventh yellow sun crying his eyes out in the rain.
Hey, Polkas After Dark, that's what you're tuned to right here. I know it's not dark just yet, and it's probably not dark where you are if you're out where Don Rogers is, because she was here 2 hours previous waiting for the show to come on, and that should have been a clue, Don. Hey, Pat Mazer is here. Hello to you, Patricia. Mr. Bruce Michaels is here. Mr. Greg Schweidock is joining us. Hello to you, Gregory. Welcome. And don't forget, folks, this coming Memorial Day weekend, we have some surprises for you. On Saturday evening, Jerry and I will not be here. We are heading out to the USPA Convention and Festival over there in Independence, Ohio. So we are not going to be around, but on Saturday, we are blessed to be doing a replay of Mr. Michael Burkus' interview. And that was, let's see, I think that was back in, oh gosh, I can't remember now. Was it March? Maybe. But let's go ahead and talk about that because it will be available on our YouTube channel. Please make sure that you go to the youtube.com, type in Polkas After Dark, hit live, hit the subscribe button, because on Saturday evening at 7 p.m. until 9 p.m., we are playing that entire video segment for everybody to see. As everyone knows, we lost Mr. Mike Burka on the 11th of May. Just a rough time for all of us involved. But we had a lot of his family members tune in, and we still do. Lou Burka is here, his lovely mom. And we're going to have, I'm sure, on the YouTube channel, everybody is going to watch that repeat. Then, speaking about repeats and rebroadcasts, on Monday, this coming Monday, that is not tomorrow. Now, hold on, let's fast forward a little bit. Not tomorrow, but the following Monday, which is Memorial Day, you guys will be able to hear and see live a rebroadcast. So, a live rebroadcast, does that make sense? Probably not. But a live rebroadcast of the Polka Motion final show with Mr. Greg Schweidock. That's going to take place from noon until 2 p.m. Eastern Time. Please make sure you guys know that. But a whole lot of stuff coming up, and you definitely want to join us. Please make sure that you do. Deborah Mill is back here as well. And let's see, I think I saw Linda. Linda had mentioned something. Linda Nyevorowski, hello to you. She says, I'm listening in from the Altenburg Palace. They're eating steak on the patio with, of course, the wonderful Kevin, who's going to be joining us soon. Hope he doesn't burp a lot. And also Julie. So we want to say hi to you guys as well. And here's a tune right now that we're going to bring up off of the Dream Team number 3, which was Legends and Fables. That's the recording. Steve Kaminsky's recording. Here's one featuring Kevin. Here's one called 6 Beers In.
About 6 beers in, 2 tequilas shy, just enough, having a good time. Don't you worry about me, I'll be just fine. I'm 6 beers in, 2 tequilas shy.
Hey, good afternoon to Gail Serva. She's joining us.
I'm 6 beers in, 2 tequilas shy. Just enough, hey, having a good time. Don't you worry about me, I'll be just fine. I'm 6 beers in, 2 tequilas shy. I'm 6 beers in, 2 tequilas shy. Just enough, hey, having a good time. Don't you worry about me, I'll be just fine. I'm 6 beers in, 2 tequilas shy. I'm 6 beers in, 2 tequilas shy. Just enough, hey, having a good time. Don't you worry about me, I'll be just fine. 6 beers in, 2 tequilas shy. Hey, I'm 6 beers in, 2 tequilas shy.
What a cool tune. I got to find out who did that originally. And if Kevin says he wrote it, well, I might believe a little bit of it. Hey, hello to Margaret Degnan. She is here. Also, Mr. Greg Anthony is tuned in. Paul Gajewski and his lovely missus are here. Also, Jill Ulrich, hello to you. Welcome, everybody, to Polkas After Dark. I'm Jerry List, but just for a short time yet. She'll probably come moseying in, showing me all kind of new clothes that she bought, and you guys probably won't be able to see any of that because she'll be standing over in that direction right there. Oh, gosh. Hey, we're going to be talking live in just a few minutes with Mr. Kevin Altenburg. Going to be a lot of fun. We are going to play a whole bunch of tunes that Kevin, of course, has recorded over time. And here is a song that he recorded with the Beat, Michael Costa and Company. Here's one called The Reason, off of the recording of the same name. Hey, Helena Garbach is joining us.
Reasons in my mind, somewhere lost in time, how it all began, a word to touch your hand. Reasons I am here with you, believe in everything we
yeah, there you go. And I'm going to begin Mr. Kevin Altenburg on the telephone for a quick sound check here in just a couple of seconds. While we do that, listen to another tune by The Beat. Here's one called Sweet Bippy.
I've got a girl named Skippy with freckles on her bippy. The men all stare, the women giggle when they see her bippy wiggle. 3 cheers for Skippy's bippy. The men all stare, the women giggle when they see her bippy wiggle. 3 cheers for Skippy's bippy. When Skippy goes out walking, everyone's looking, talking. Look her over, oh my golly, she's got dimples on her jolly, but you should see her bippy. Look her over, oh my golly, she's got dimples on her jolly, but you should see her bippy. I've got a girl named Skippy with freckles on her bippy. The men all stare, the women giggle when they see her bippy wiggle. 3 cheers for Skippy's bippy. The men all stare, the women giggle when they see her bippy wiggle. 3 cheers for Skippy's bippy. When Skippy goes out walking, everyone's looking, talking. Look her over, oh my golly, she's got dimples on her jolly, but you should see her bippy. Look her over, oh my golly, she's got dimples on her jolly, but you should see her bippy.
Yeah, there is Mr. Michael Costa and The Beat, a little bit of Sweet Bippy. You just heard Mr. Kevin in the background, but we're going to play one more song here. Here's a tune by Joe Valega and the Happy Hearts. Hey, there's Joe Valega and the Happy Hearts, one called Musicians. Yeah, Musicians. Thank you, Polka. And we thank you guys for tuning us in on a Sunday afternoon. We know everybody has a busy schedule, but we are so glad that you joined us today. And I am going to go direct right now to Mr. Kevin Altenburg. And Kevin, can you hear me?
How did you get this number?
I looked it up on Facebook, and then I had to go through
Am I speaking to the person who has called me?
Yes, you are. As a matter of fact, you sure are. I knew this was going to.
It's so good.
I
It's
knew
so
this
good
was.
to hear your voice.
I knew this was going to be a fun time, Kevin. And
Well,
we're
going to change that up on you. Everybody, turn your hymnals to page 12.
No. And it's not going to be a hymnal. We're not going to be singing any songs together.
Thank you so much for having me on today. I really appreciate it, Robin. It's so good to be speaking to you. We've had a couple of conversations.
Yeah.
And every time I've been so very nicely excited about the energy that you have.
Oh, well, thank you, buddy.
Yeah, and I hope Jerry shows up soon. I want to say hi to Jerry.
Yeah, I'm sure you will. She'll be here before the 7 o'clock hour, that's for sure. It's 5:30 p.m., and now we get a chance to do what we do best on a Sunday afternoon, and that is pick the musician's brain. And I am going to do that simply by asking the normal very first question, and that is, Kevin, at what age were you when you heard your first polka?
I've heard a couple of interviewees mention that they heard it in the womb.
Sure.
But I'm going to tell you, it's a little unlikely in my circumstance. Robin, I was adopted.
Oh, good for you. We have a lot of folks. We have a lot of folks in the polka industry that were adopted.
They could have just left me in the clearance basket. Yeah, really. But I was adopted. I was born December 28th, 1968. So 3 days after Christmas.
Oh, wow.
So what a, and my parents there was an adoption agency above a department store in downtown Chicago. I was born at St. Joseph's in Chicago. And my parents saw me and they're like, yep, that's the one. He's really hairy. and half of the aunts and uncles were like, well, I want to be there when you change his diaper because I want to make sure that you adopted a son. But they picked me up. They picked me up on Valentine's Day. So I was in the hospital just waiting. And so I cannot say that I heard polkas from my very first, inception.
Sure.
Conception.
Sure.
And it was basically there from there on out because my father and my mother, they grew up with polkas. They met through polkas. They met at a dance. This is back in the days when my dad went to there's a high school called Lane Tech up on the north side, and my mom went to Kelly, which was on the south side. Well, back in the day, I think either Kelly was an all-girls school and Lane Tech was an all-boys school. So you got to get on the bus if you want to meet anybody. And they didn't get too into the details with me, but apparently they met up, and they would shuttle back and forth on the bus to go meet each other. And they were both polka people. This is both polka people. They would go to the dances all the time. They would go up to Lucy's Wisconsin Rendezvous, which was, I believe, on the north side. And that's where they would hang out. And we're talking about kids that are like, I want to say 21 years old, but back in the day, you did what you had to get done.
Yeah.
So so they were kids going to polka dances, kids going to the bars. Those days don't exist anymore.
Yeah.
So then they found out that they had to they were going to have to adopt a child, and I came along, And so it was from there. It was from there. There was no choice. This is your environment.
Interesting.
So you are a blob of meat. Here is your circumstance. Here is your conditioning. Here is your environment.
Oh, that is huge.
It was just it's just forever. And obviously my father's brother, Tommy Altenburg, had a polka band in Chicago at the time.
I was just going to ask, did anybody in the family actually play polka music? Because usually within that environment, somebody has to be involved with either dating a musician or married to a musician or whatever. So tell us a little bit more about Tommy.
Right. So it's, well, it's definitely the usual polka inbreeding.
Yeah.
And
Gotcha.
I mean, we go back at least 4 generations. So I have my grandfather's concertina, and I'm pretty sure that's from somewhere around 1912. And that was and I think my mother's side, and they did carry it through the family, and it wound up with me. But my uncles played on both sides. My grandfathers played. My grandfather played. So it's always been there, but I didn't realize the implications. Well, obviously, I was like 6, 7 years old, and we go over to visit my Uncle Tommy, who had a polka band in Chicago. They were called the Happy Notes.
Happy Notes, okay.
Yeah, and that was Tommy Altenburg's Happy Notes. The thing about the thing you need to know about Tommy Altenburg is if you want to work, if you want to play gigs, you talk to Tommy, because he was playing so much. I mean, nobody could keep up with how many gigs this guy had booked.
Oh, wow.
So, and so we're over visiting one day, and Tommy has, my Uncle Tom had a concertina, and my parents are like, "Oh, you see one of these?" And, "Yeah, I see that." Tom's like, why, come here. So he puts me on his knee, and he taught me a scale in 10 minutes. He's like, "Press that button. Now press that button. Now press that button." And we did it, and he just looks up at, my uncle looks at his brother, who my dad basically played the radio. That was his talent. So Tommy was, he was the musician in the family. And Tommy looks at my dad, Ron, Mr. Ronald, rise and shine. It's party time, Altenburg. And my mom, Teresa, or as we call her, Terry, Altenburg. He looks up and he goes, "I don't know. He's kind of got it here." And my dad looks at me and goes like, "Well, you're a pretty nervous kid. Would you like to play concertina?" I'm like, "Sure, why not?" At 7 years old, you really don't think beyond, lunch. So from then on, it was that was it. And they had me practicing for 2-3 hours a day.
That is unreal. Now, I know that you play concertina. You play it very well. What other instruments do you play besides concertina?
Well, I was playing concertina since I was 7. In the 4th grade, obviously in the schools, they give you an instrument to play. Mm-hmm. And I wanted trumpets.
Okay.
But my lips did not fit into the trumpet. And I said, okay. So they gave me a trombone, and my arms did not reach.
Coincide with that, sure. The lips were there, but the arms didn't.
Trombone. Yeah. I'm like, well, we got to find something for this guy. And so they gave me a baritone. And that worked fine. So I started with the baritone. And as I went along, I graduated to the tuba. I was accepted to Vandercook Music College on a tuba major. So, and then along the way, I did go back and I picked up trumpet. Along the way, I did buy a bass guitar, and I learned bass guitar. I bought a regular guitar, and I made some progress on that. But for the most part, I am mostly brass instruments, concertina, and bass.
Gotcha. Do you play clarinet and sax too? I don't think
No,
I've ever
that's
seen you
like my
play.
retirement dream.
There you go.
That's my retirement dream. I bought my son a clarinet, and he did very well in marching band until COVID, when everything fell apart.
Yep.
And then I bought him a saxophone, and he said, "That's really cool." And he like blew 2 notes on it. And then now I have a saxophone sitting around, so I'm waiting to pick that up.
Oh, okay.
So
Gotcha.
that's kind of my retirement, bucket list thing.
Gotcha. Okay. And tell me, what other bands have you performed with? You had mentioned that you performed with John Jaworski, Jimmy Killian. Tell us about some of those ventures, or adventures, I should say, with Kevin.
What do you want me to do it chronologically?
Yeah, if you want to, go right ahead.
The only way I can think of it is the way I wrote it.
Sure. Okay, sure.
Hey, real quick, I did want to give a quick shout out to a couple of my friends. John Kravitz, Mike Medusa, Joey Darris, Bernie Gorak.
Yeah.
Bernie Gorak. And Bernie Gorak. And
oh, yeah, you mentioned them three times.
Gorak.
Him three times. There you go.
There's about 5 or 6 of them. I think they consolidated into their own nation by now.
I know Senior,
Eric
the
Karofsky,
second, and the third.
The best trumpet player of a band called The Mistakes. I've never heard better Mistakes than I've ever heard from Eric Karofsky. And a couple other folks. Jason Anschutz, my buddy forever.
Oh, Jason, yep.
Dawn and Teresa, thank you so much for tuning in. Always been good friends of mine. Just wonderful people. But real quick, as far as bands I played with, I had my own band up in Wisconsin. I grew up, I was born in Chicago. My parents, when I was 3, we moved up to Wisconsin. And I learned concertina under 3 different teachers out there.
Oh.
Bill Franchek, who my father actually worked with, and also Tim Basler, who was he was a notable musician in the area, and Don Graylick. I took lessons from Don Graylick for a good year and a half. Then I had my own band. So that was my very first band. I decided to call it Kevin Altenburg and the Second Generation.
Oh, nice.
So, because apparently when you're in Wisconsin, you either need to have the word new, tradition, or generation in your name. So
interesting.
I'm just following form.
Very interesting. That's nice.
But we did that. In 85, I moved back. My parents moved back to Chicago. And I continued with my own group. And I had new people that I was barely a teenager, and I had to get to know all these Chicago people, which when you're born into the Chicago circle of musicians,
yeah,
it's like the good old boy club. You know what I mean? I'm not saying officially like that. I'm just saying like you got to know who you know,
sure,
right?
Sure.
So if you grew up with him, then you grew up with him. So here I am, this little kid, and I met a guy named Bill Gula, who really helped me out. He was in my band. He was on. He used to play with Prime Drive.
Yep.
And Stash Golonka.
Easy Tones.
And he headed up the Ampolaires after a while.
Yeah.
So super, super cool dude.
Yeah, here.
And Dave Matera, who was also basically on that list. Jim Kucharski, who, can't say enough about the guy.
Sure.
He's just amazing. He's just amazing. So, and then, we were just kind of rotating. In the beginning, I had Donnie Patak on trumpet for a couple of gigs. I'm like, how do you say your name? He's like, I'm Donnie Patak. Who the hell are you? And, and so I had to research it. Yeah, I had to research it. Like, this guy played trumpet for Little Wally.
Yikes.
And here I am in the gin mills on the north side with Donnie Patak.
Yeah.
I was like, hey, you know this song? And he's like, you know how to get to the bar and get me a drink? You know what I mean?
Priceless.
I had no cred.
That's
I
priceless.
had no cred, I had people like that. Wayne Sienkiewicz was playing with me. Roger Malinowski was playing with me. Just,
two fantastic
everybody.
Drummers.
My
and
father
you
was
Mike Medusa.
managing the band at that time. Sorry?
I said two fantastic drummers, and then you also mentioned Mike Medusa a little bit earlier in the conversation.
Mike. I don't know which one of us I don't know which one of us influenced the other more.
Really?
Because when I was a kid, I would go over by his house, and we don't know anything. We're kids. We're legacies.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? It's like when you're a legacy, it's like you have relatives in the family that are famous. But me and you, we're just clowning around. Yeah. We don't know one end from the other.
Exactly. Hey, so what personal genre of music do you like to listen to, Kev, when you're not listening to polkas? Because you've got a whole array of music in your brain. And I'm sure with all these things that go on, you try to dissect everything. And they say that music is like math. So I'm sure, you're running ones and zeros and all kind of, things in your head. But what do you listen to?
Music is like math. I would agree with that.
Yeah.
I would agree with that. But I would also say that a lot of that math needs to pass through your heart, and then it becomes a different kind of math.
Yeah.
So I listen to anything. I like believe it or not, I like the soft rock of the 70s because they were so good. And it was all real musicians.
That's right. And the vocal harmonies were tremendous.
Right. And there was no artificial anything going on. You either got it right or you didn't show up that day.
Yeah.
So, people like Boz Scaggs, people like Earth, Wind, and Fire. I mean, what groups? Such a good, so the Meters. I even enjoyed the Meters a lot. And I got into ska, and I enjoyed that. And I like a lot of that and very melodic stuff.
Yeah.
And just well orchestrated music.
Now, you have recorded with a lot of cats out there. I've got to go back. I don't know if you saw the very first thing that we did featuring you and Joey Darris, and there were some other folks in the Catch with that video. Who was in the Catch? Who was the drummer? Who's the cat with the winter hat on? The girl, I believe, is your daughter. Is that correct?
That's my daughter, Melanie, who's going to be turning 28 next week.
Oh, wow.
And that video is a good 15 years old.
Yeah, I was going to say it has to be.
Yeah, that's my daughter. We just brought her in, and she's like, yeah, happy to help.
Oh,
and she did some backup vocals. She has done some backup vocals for a couple of polka albums.
Oh, wow. Interesting.
She's just happy to help. There was a couple of guys. I don't remember who was wearing the winter cap. There was a guy on drums named Tony Tabor. And he owns a music school here in Chicago. Wow. He is a phenomenal drummer. Phenomenal. I mean, he can make it rain.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? He just shows up, and his personality precedes him.
Oh.
So he's a great guy. And then we had another, and we were all recording over at Joey's cousin's studio.
All right.
And he was like, hey, guess what? I have video capabilities. Let's make a video. And we didn't know what to throw on a video because at that time videos were new. So it was just whatever everybody was doing.
Sure.
So I happened to be on bass for that. But that song that you played was Seventh Yellow Sun that Joey had came up with while we were in freeze dry. And he just kind of continued it and morphed it into a little more of a Americanized style.
Yeah.
So no, it was a hilarious video. It was one of those where like it haunts you.
Well, it haunts you,
but yet, it keeps coming back.
Well, the funny thing is when I saw it for the first time, I'm like, what is this? And then I played it, and as soon as I played it, I had to play it again. And then I had to play it again, and that is in my library of videos.
It's a deeper song than it is on the surface.
Yeah.
Yeah. Joey was a huge Beatles fan, and probably is so.
Okay.
But he always felt that if it sounds good, do it. And if you derive meaning out of it later, And yeah, sure, of course, that's what the
Yeah.
song's about. So,
Yeah, that's cool. Now,
we had a long time.
what
We had a long
studios
time
have you
trying to figure out what the
recorded?
heck that song was about.
What recording studios have you been in? Have you stepped foot in to record your different polka recordings that you've done?
I have been at Gary Rainey's studios out there in Youngstown, Ohio.
Yep.
Right. I was there, and believe it or not, the reason I was there was I was actually doing a cameo for Toledo Polka Motion's Party All Night album.
Oh, okay.
So there is a track on there, and that was one of my first experiences in a huge recording studio. We'd also been, where else had I been? We did quite a few things in Chicago for a studio name called Hair Bear. Hair Bear. He's a big hip hop and rap studio.
Okay.
In Chicago. So, and we did a lot of the Joe Valega albums there. So, make of that what you want. Hey, Joe Valega, come to this rap studio. We'll make you sound great. All right. So, yeah, sounds
Unreal.
good. And we also went up to, I think they were called Sound Designs. I think they were up in Des Plaines. We did 3 of the freeze-dried songs up there. Oh, Sound Impressions. In Des Plaines, Illinois. And we did 3 of the very first freeze-dried songs there.
Okay.
So after that, I've done a lot at my own studio. I'm always happy to bring, other bands in, and if they need a part, dropped in or something like that, I'll export my parts out to, to other studios. I did the entire first and second beat. Well, the ones that I did was the Reason.
The Reason?
And
the Misses.
The Hits and Misses.
Yeah.
Yes. And I did those all from my studio. For Hits and Misses, we actually brought the Yashes, Nick Yash, all the way out here. So him and his dad, Jeff Yash, they came out for the weekend, and we cut all the accordion parts at my place.
Nick is actually in Facebook, just so you know. He's listening to the interview.
Keep it real, man. So we did, it was a heck of a weekend.
Wow.
Just getting everything laid down, and then we just flew the parts back out to Jersey.
Oh.
So, and Michael was
technology.
cutting the rest of that album. Michael cut that album at a studio. I can't remember the name of the studio, but the engineer's name was Guy.
Right.
And he was a punk. He did punk music.
Okay.
And so Michael Costa is on the record for having a polka album recorded at a punk studio.
Nice. Hey, do you have...
I would love to be a fly on the wall to see that.
Do you have a favorite band that you have never performed with, but always wanted to, past or present, and it doesn't necessarily have to be around polka music. It can be a different genre altogether. But do you have a favorite band that you've never performed with or played with on stage, but always wanted to?
I would have loved to have been either participating or not. I would have loved to see the original Paula Brothers or any of their iterations.
Oh.
I would have loved, and in the studio, to see what was going on, whose ideas, were being developed.
Yeah.
And things like that. I would love to see that. After that, I would have loved to have been in the studio for any of the Gamuka albums, because that was great times.
Yeah.
Those guys, they were hard hitting. That was a very intense band.
Yeah. Here. Do you have a most memorable gig that you played, whether it was maybe very well attended or the guys you were playing with just sounded like really dead on and everybody was firing on all cylinders? I always like to use that term, that analogy.
Firing on all cylinders, all
Yeah.
4 of them.
Yeah. Well, yeah, now. Sometimes 6. I have a 6.
um, there were times when we were on stage with Mr. Lenny Gomulka, who is still one of my my biggest, influences.
Oh,
I mean,
yeah.
he's a class act.
Same here.
He's a class act.
I
He
agree.
taught more about the polka business than I ever knew existed. Taught me more about being a young gentleman than I had originally perceived.
Yeah.
But sometimes being on stage with the boys, with the Gomulka's boys, and being tutored and mentored
Yeah.
by that group was such a learning experience, and every night was a moment of enlightenment.
Wow.
Freeze dried. There were times when, we just knew we had it right. We knew we had it right.
Oh, yeah.
I
miss that
I don't know
band.
what we did, but we did it right.
I really miss that band.
So it was a good band. There was a lot of good moments with that band.
How about the largest crowd, Kevin, that you ever performed in front
crowd
of?
was around 68,000 people.
Whoa.
I'm going to tell you a story about that. Yeah.
68,000, not 6,800. 68,000.
Pretty much. So there was a DJ in Chicago. Yeah, figure that one out, right? There was a DJ in Chicago. His name was Jonathan Brandmeier. And he was a Chicago DJ, shock jock. And he had grown up in Wisconsin. So he had a personal tie with the folks in Wisconsin, back and forth. Wisconsin has always been angry with Illinois. Illinois has always been, less than comfortable with Wisconsin. And somebody in Wisconsin, a DJ, wrote a song about, to paraphrase, you people in Illinois are idiots. So, and it was just, it's for air, right? You're just doing a bit, right? And so this Jonathan Brandmeier, he was on a station called The Loop, and it was a rock and roll station, classic rock. And somehow I got involved with that. Jonathan wrote another song going back to Milwaukee called, and I'm going to tell you, this is the name of the song. Hey there, ho there, ya hey hey, stay in Milwaukee and die. Now, I did not write that, so don't blame me on any of that. So that was the name of the song. Well, it was a kind of a polka tune. And he was looking to go find some real polka musicians to come on the stage and play, because he had a band put together. He had the Buckinghams backing him. So he's going on stage, he's got the Buckinghams as his backup group. And he's looking for a polka guys. Well, in the meantime, this guy named Greg Helton was playing trumpet with Johnny Kravitz in Chicago's Milwaukee Avenue, but he was also playing as a horn guy for the Buckinghams, and then he was playing for Jonathan Brandmeier. Well, he was still playing in a polka band. So he's like, well, I got your polka musicians, watch this. So next thing I know, John Kravitz and I are on tour, and we did 12, 13 gigs a year with this Jonathan Brandmeier, and he played some very huge venues in Chicagoland. And the largest one was a place, and it's no longer there, but it was called Poplar Creek. It's kind of halfway to Wisconsin. No, I think it was in Wisconsin, but and we got up on the stage, and they told us afterwards that there were 68,000 people at that concert. Now, I cannot describe to you the sound of 68,000 people saying, holy heck yeah.
Yeah.
But I would recognize it if I heard it again. So, you don't forget to sound like that.
Hey, Kevin,
sound like that.
Musician-wise, who did you idolize growing up?
Well, obviously,
musician-wise,
I gotta put some kudos out to my favorite, my good friends that, brothers of the Bellows,
Sure.
the concertina players. Obviously, all the polka musicians that I've played with have been some just wonderfully talented people. I mean, it makes me feel great just to be there with them.
Yeah.
The concertina players out there are these days just tremendous. There are some of them are very fancy, and that's great.
Yep.
And
Yep.
some of them are very simple, and that is like soul music.
Yes.
So
Agreed.
I mean, obviously Don Gralick, there's nobody ever going to play like him again. It's not going to happen. He took his secrets to the grave. And if I learned 1/10 of what he knew, he's super influenced. But you've got people in the field that just can really work their instruments.
Yeah.
I mean the list. I don't want to list too many people because I don't want to leave anybody
You don't want to
out,
forget
what I mean?
anybody. Of course. Totally understandable.
Right.
I hear you.
It's really hard to experience the talent of somebody and then go on to the next person, go like, well, I like you too, and then forget the first person. It's too easy to do.
Yes.
You don't want to do that. You really need to concentrate on all the people and their special gifts.
Yeah, no, that's great. Hey, how about a favorite song that you like to either play or sing when you're on stage? Do you have a favorite?
I have a couple of favorite songs that I like to sing, but nobody else wants to hear them. No. Yeah.
Well, you know what? No, let's hear what they were.
He was blessed. There was a musician once that said he was blessed with his father's looks and his mother's voice. I think I'm right up there with them. So I do what I can. I do what I can.
Oh, that's funny.
So I just try to sing as well as the person that's next to me.
Yeah.
There's some beautiful singers out there, some people with some great personalities.
Tell me about it.
I was at Wisconsin Dells Polka Fest this last weekend.
Yes.
And I got to see Alex Meixner.
Alex Meixner,
for a full show. Meixner.
Yes.
And I got to see a whole show. And I'm telling you, there's us, and then there's him.
Well, it's funny because I met him at Seven Springs, I want to say probably 20 years ago. And, he came up, he introduced himself to me. I had not known him or even actually known of him. And he's from like Texas or something, right? If I'm not mistaken.
I believe he resided in Florida.
Okay.
I don't know if he's still from Florida.
Okay. All right. Well, anyhow, watched him perform with his band on stage at Seven Springs. And it's like everybody that watches him, their mouth was just hanging open. The guy is just so animated.
Flat out jazz.
Yeah.
That
He is just
flat
so
out polka jazz.
animated and so technical with everything the way he plays. He's unbelievable. And I've spoken to him numerous times on the phone. We were trying to get him scheduled for an interview, but his schedule is so haywire and so whacked. But he did promise me, he says, Robin, we are going to get together at some point on a Sunday afternoon, and I'm going to be on the broadcast
prepare.
for an interview.
I say get into therapy beforehand.
Yeah. Oh, exactly.
Guy, he's just so there.
Oh, yeah.
So there. And I talked to Ted Lang after the gig, and I said, what was that like? He goes, man, I don't know.
Yeah.
He goes, man, I don't know.
Jeez.
So, he's like, what the thing about Alex Meixner is the fact that he'll look at you, and as soon as he realizes that you're feeling comfortable, that's when he strikes.
Yeah. Yeah. He's like an attack animal,
He wants to keep you off balance.
Yeah.
And it shows on his stage performance. But you've had quite a few gigs like that too. I'm sure that you've had moments on stage where you don't know what's going to happen next, but I mean it all turned out for the best, right?
Sure, exactly. Now, also, let me ask you this, because I like to ask this question, and you cannot divulge the company that you work for, but what do you do for a living, Kevin?
Oh, I sell chips.
You sell chips.
Not computer.
Not
Potato.
computer chips. You sell potato chips. Oh, do you really?
I do.
Oh, okay, cool.
I am a vendor with a company that if you were to name the first company that came to your head, that'd be the company.
Oh, okay. Well, it
So I go
doesn't
out
start
there
with an L and end with an S, does it? Or probably starts with an F and ends with an S.
There you go.
Close. Okay, I know where you're coming from. Gotcha.
Right.
Okay.
Yeah, making Americans fat one bag at a time. So, the only thing that we have to say about it is that when people are happy, they eat chips. When people are not happy, they eat chips.
They eat chips.
So,
that's funny.
That's all you can do about it. I know at least one other notable musician that used to work for the same company, and that was Ralph Sabatini.
Oh yeah, Ralphie. Yep.
Yeah.
He's originally from Pennsylvania, down by where I used to reside. Played with the Invictus, so Martini and the Invictus, and then he moved on out to Michigan. He played with the Sounds. As a matter of fact, I think he's going to be taking the stage with Jimmy Weber and the Sounds with the reunion for the Summer Music Fest this August.
Oh, he's going to be in Frankenmuth. I can't wait.
Rumor has it. Now, I don't want to tell any stories out of school, but and Ralph and Kim, happy anniversary, by the way. It was their wedding anniversary, I think yesterday or today.
Congratulations. That's great.
But yes, I do believe that he's going to be
one of the smoothest drummers.
Oh, yes.
He just he was very schooled in what he knew what to do.
And his vocals. His vocals are just amazing. They
you
really
don't see too many drummers that have a good vocal.
Thank you. Thank you very, very much.
And he had it. Yeah, no, really. I mean, and that's a beautiful thing, So I don't know. Was that his first instrument?
Drums, I don't know that for a fact, but I would say by the way he plays, I'd have to say yes, because he's
all right, ladies and gentlemen, tune in to our next episode.
Well, you know what's funny? We can't. No, we've already interviewed Ralph Sabatini. We have had the honor and the pleasure of interviewing a lot of musicians over these past 5 years. Jerry and I have been doing this now. In March, it was 5 years already. March or April.
You guys have a huge library.
Well,
huge library of interviews. Nobody else is doing what you are doing.
Well, the funny thing is the interviews that we're doing, we're having a lot of fun with. When COVID started, people have heard this numerous times. They're probably sick of hearing it. But our first interview, I called the guy. I said, hey, we want to try something new. Would you be interested in doing it? And he said, absolutely. What time are you going to call me? And that's Joe Oberitis. I have known Joe since the late 60s, early 70s. And, from Cleveland, Ohio. And man, when he came on, it was just unreal. Now, a lot of those are no longer archived. Yeah, are no longer archived because those were originally on Facebook. And Facebook, dumps a lot of stuff after so many years. But yeah, he was one. And we started interviewing the band leaders. Okay, then after that, a short time later, Jerry said, what would be fun is let's interview some of the sidemen. So we've been doing that. And Kevin, I got to tell you, the stories, just like you, the stories that are coming out of the woodwork are what people tune us in for. They love these things. They really do. And Jerry and I love them as well.
I love the idea about the story of the sidemen because they are the world's best sidemen.
They're the nucleus of the band.
That's where you have to be. You're the guy. If you're a sideman, your job is to do whatever the leader is telling you to do.
Right, and make the leader sound good.
Yeah, and that's okay. Your name's not on the bandstand, which is good. Because if everything goes south...
That's right. Then you don't get sued. But
you get to walk away. Right.
Exactly. It's like, hey...
But, I mean, to hear the stories of the people that were helping make all of that stuff happen.
Yes.
I'd love to be a fly on the wall at Bel Air Studios in 1968.
Oh.
and just see these guys walking in for the day.
Yeah.
You know,
And it's funny in talking.
be there for a Happy Louie rehearsal.
Yeah.
I
Oh,
heard
wow.
those were phenomenal.
Yeah. But the Chicago thing, with walking into the studio at Bel Air, talking with Junior. I interviewed Junior. I interviewed, Tony. And, years and years ago, talking about this with Lenny. Lenny said that we would finish a job some nights and everybody was feeling so good. I mean, the chops were in order for trumpet and clarinet, the drums and everything. He said we would go into the studio at like 3, 4 o'clock in the morning and we wouldn't come out until 7 or 8 o'clock in the morning. And
right, because who cares? That was your life.
That's right. That is
so
exactly
you had to go
true.
to the factory in the morning. Big deal.
You're right, exactly.
Now
Wow.
everybody's got jobs and families and soccer practice and stuff like that.
Yep, you
It's
got that right.
impossible trying to get people into the studios like pulling teeth these days.
Yeah, that's true. Hey, are you going to be at USPA this upcoming weekend?
I will not make it. I have family plans. I do apologize.
No, totally understandable.
No.
Family
You're
comes
gonna be
first.
there, right? Yeah.
Yeah, Jerry and I are heading out there Friday morning, and we're actually leaving on Sunday morning because we have family commitments on Sunday evening, and then, of course, Monday, everybody gets together. But let me ask you another couple of questions here, and then I'm going to let you go because we're now already into 10 minutes after the hour of 6 p.m. Eastern Time. No, this is great. I'm loving this. I really am, and I'm hoping that everybody else is loving it, too. Tell me one of your most embarrassing moments on stage. Do you have any? Most embarrassing.
I've never been one to be very apologetic for what happens on stage.
Okay.
I just kind of figure that's what it was, folks.
Yeah.
I have seen other people with some difficulties, or as you might say today, compromised.
Yes.
Situations. I've seen quite a few compromised musicians, and as have you. There was, I did make the joke earlier that I was blessed with, my father's good looks and my mother's bladder.
Mm-hmm.
I've seen a few people that have been blessed with their mother's bladder that didn't make it to the end of the set. I'm not going to name names, but who
No. Yeah. That's fine. And we're going down a rabbit hole that I definitely don't want to go down right now.
No, that's a whole nother category of stories.
Yes, it is.
But there was, I mean, what happens on the stage, you just got to remember that not only are you a musician, you're an entertainer.
Right.
You got to sell it. You got to make whatever's happening. I mean, I played with Little Wally, and we were at honestly a dive, in southern Chicago town. I think it was a place called Gadini's, and Little Wally is like, "Hey, you got to come play with me. We're gonna have fun." I was like, "All right, no problem." And at the end of the night, he had nothing left to do. So I'm over there on the mixing board, and I have a reverb channel and I have a delay channel, right? So if you know what those things do, reverb adds echo, and delay is just kind of like a slap back echo of what you did. So he's over there, and there's still people in the hall, and all the musicians are packing up their stuff. And Wally decides he's going to do whale calls. I don't know where this came from, but I'm over there and I got the mixing board. So I hit the reverb and I hit the delay, and I start like pulling the toms back and forth. So next, he never heard this before. He didn't know this could be done. He did a 15-minute medley of whale calls. And, Gula's looking at me going like, "Yeah, sure, let it ride, man." And we don't know what to do. What? Wally Medusa is looking at me going like, "I don't know, I need a drink." And we don't know. Madura's over there. We don't. Oh man, it was. I was like, Wally, I think we got to probably go. He goes, okay. And he goes, woo, and it just from the red like. So that was, you make it up as you go.
Oh, yeah. Yeah.
You make it up as you, if that's what, and the people were going nuts. And I'm
Yes.
going, that's a wait for Little Wally presents will calls of your favorite songs.
Oh, that's
Be on
funny.
the next album.
Hey, we want to
So
say good evening to Mr. Alan Palla. Alan is here.
Hey,
and
Al, what's going on, buddy?
He is in the chat room over at Polkas After Dark. Paul and Delphine Kuhar. I just want to say hello to some of these people that have been here for a little bit. And, thank them ever so much for tuning in for this. But Ricky Pianowski from Buffalo, he and I have shared the stage with not only Little Wally, but we also played with a band called the Honky Hoppers, which backed up Wally quite a few times. Played with Kenny Michalski and The Touch and Jerry Darlak, and just a whole bunch of great folks. But I have two more questions, and then I'm going to let you go. I do promise.
Yes, sir.
The last, next to the last question is this, and I'm sure you have something that you can share. Do you have a favorite breakdown story that you can share with everybody? At least one.
None of them are my favorite.
Okay,
None of them
well,
are my favorite.
now that you mentioned it, I'm going to have to probably
Right?
reiterate that when I ask the question. Wow.
You might convert that to most memorable. So, I mean, I did tell you that I played with Lenny Gomulka for a while, right?
Yes.
So, okay, well, there's a whole chapter we don't even need to go into. So one day, Lenny is like, he's holding up a pair of nylons because his his alternator belt broke. So he's holding up a pair of nylons tied in a loop. And he goes, what do you think? And I honestly, God, did not have an answer for that.
So did it work?
No. The sun, we got into a parking lot. It was the middle of the night, and we didn't know what parking lot we were in. But we're trying to figure out, the alternator belt broke. Okay, great. So in the end, he fashions a belt out of a pair of nylons, and he holds them up, and he looks at me, and he goes, what do you think? And then he looks at me and he goes, shut up. And I said, all right, I didn't say nothing. I said, do me a favor, look behind you at that Napa Auto Parts store.
Bingo.
That's behind you in the parking lot. So there was that.
Oh, jeez.
There was that. The other one was Mike Medusa and I, we took a trip up to Wisconsin. Mike's like, yeah, I think the car leaks a little oil. Yeah, all right, no problem. So we take a trip up to Wisconsin. We made it as far as Madison, where he had an alma mater fraternity party. So we're partying there in Madison, Wisconsin. And then we make it up to Pulaski Polka Days. And Harold Otto's like, come over for breakfast. Well, we barely made it there. Barely made it there. And, Mike's got a teenager's car. He's got an oil problem. He's got one headlight looking at the road, the other headlight watching out for deer. We're smoking cigars. It's pitch fog outside. We can't see beyond 50 feet. And we're driving, no problem. Every once in a while, the engine just goes zzz, and we got to pull over and put another quart of oil in the thing. We get to Harold Otto's, and he's like, yeah, guys, welcome. Have some breakfast, stuff like that. We're going to go look at your car. Comes back 10 minutes later and goes, turns out your oil hose was just a little bit loose. So we just, put another one on and then put the little clippy thing on there. And Mike and I were like, we thought we were going to die.
Oh, jeez, a whiz.
The other one is Tony Blazonczyk, who kidnapped me to go to Frankenmuth. And I tell you that because he did. And naturally, what happened?
I saw that on Criminal Minds, if I'm not mistaken, that episode.
He has a very criminal mind.
Yes, yes he does.
So, Tony, I love you, man. I love you since the first day. And we broke down, and then we got John Fulmaniak, Melvin, Ray Rizzuto.
Yeah.
Who else was it? Me, Tony, Tang. I cannot recall who was next, but we break down on the way out to Frankenmuth, and they had just invented Siri.
Okay.
So
On the
John
phone.
Fulmaniak. Yeah, right, exactly. So you press the phone and Siri comes on and says, "How can I help you?" Well, John Fulmaniak he said, "Oh, it's they're going to listen to you." So he goes on a 20-minute diatribe on what's going on. Like, well, in 75, I think there was a bridge over there, and when you pass the bridge, we just came out of some town. It had an Arby's, and he just kept going. Meanwhile, Siri is like, open up the bottle, start taking shots. Ray is like, I'm going to go in the ditch in case we get hit. So it's me and Tony fixing the trailer. I mean, I just look out the passenger window and there's sparks, and Tony goes, "Yep." That was waiting for that. And he named his next album after that breakdown. That was the Breakdown album.
Oh, okay.
Yeah.
I always wondered why that was named Breakdown. Oh, wow.
Oh, it was a very specific event.
That is interesting. Holy cow. Hey, we want to say hi to Jill Cherniak. She's here. Also, your buddy Brian Kopka is tuned in right now, too.
Brian, where's the VO? Jill, hey, Rumi.
Wow. Hey, and I'm going to say last but not least, and this is serious now. We're going to go serious. What advice would Kevin Altenburg give to somebody who wants to get involved in polka music, or actually any genre of music? What advice would you give that person? Maybe they want to be a drummer or a trumpet player, a concertina player, lead guitar, whatever. Maybe they just want to sing or just want to be a front man. What advice would you give to that person?
I've heard you ask this question before, and instead of me just simply saying run, I would say know your stuff and learn your technical aspects. And if that is your choice, you will commit. And as long as you want to do it, you will do it. But learn your fundamentals. And this is very important, learn the standards. Learn the standards the way they're supposed to be played.
Amen.
Then you can break loose. But learn it the way you get in with a couple of musicians that they only know it that way.
Yeah.
You're going to be lost if you did not learn it.
Yeah.
So, and remember, you're not just a musician. You're an entertainer.
That's true.
Love
very,
the
very
people.
True.
Love the people. Talk to the people. Be friends with the people. They are the reason why you are there.
That is great. You, I believe, are maybe one of the first, if not the first, that definitely said that. It makes sure, because it's the people that pay the money to come to see you. And it doesn't hurt to go around and say, hey, thanks for coming. Right.
It's okay to enjoy yourself. And you should, but that's for you. But there's how many other people out there that you're there? They're the reason why you're there.
Yeah. That is huge.
Make them happy. Give them a good memory.
That really is. Hey, Kevin, also Dolores Sendra Gurkowski says hello. Great interview. She was listening and watching this afternoon.
Dolores, I love you.
You know what, sir? I want to thank you ever so much. Thank Julie for letting us steal you today. And
yeah, well, no, they want me back. I need to do dishes.
Oh, see, there you go. That's what they're waiting on. Will you come and clean this up?
Yeah, exactly. So what are we going to do with this?
Wow.
Come on, Kevin, get it over with. We got martinis to make. Come on.
Kevin, I will say this. I love you like a brother. Thank you ever so much for coming on and spending the past 55 minutes with us just chatting about your musical career and bringing up a lot of fun stuff. I mean, I haven't laughed that hard during an interview ever. Period.
No,
I mean, people can go back and listen to these on
it's
YouTube.
It's all about the reminiscing. It's all about getting together. And I know we're in the industry, so we have a lot of inside knowledge.
Yeah.
And you just need to translate it to show people, you know, what real fun it is to be a musician.
Yeah.
And you are doing a great job. Thank you, Robin.
Oh, hey.
And Jerry, de facto.
Yeah,
apparently.
we love doing this. We really do. Hey, Jason Anschutz is here. He says, wrap it up, Kevin. I got to go to work tomorrow. Hank Marzahalski is here with us. He says, hey, great interview. Everybody knows Hank from the old Dynatone days, the Marion Lush days, and played with Sunshine. But, you know, great folks here that tune us in. And again, it's all because of people like you, Kevin. Thank you so much for spending the time. Now, I'm going to also end with this. I want to ask you, what instrument did you play on Deliberate Confusion? Because we've got Lean on Me coming up next. I love this song. It's one of my favorites.
I did trombone and bass on that one.
Okay, well, Bill Withers did it originally, just so Facebook and YouTube don't shun us out and say, hey, you can't play that as your own. No, it's not. Bill Withers did it originally.
That song killed. The original killed, and when we came up with the idea for it, it wrote itself.
Yeah.
The arrangement wrote itself, and we didn't spend a single minute wondering what we were supposed to do next. That song wrote itself.
Got it.
But thank you again, Robin.
Hey, thank you, buddy. I love you. I mean that. And I know our paths will cross at some point this summer, or if not, this fall.
I'm looking forward to it.
All right. Thanks a lot for joining us, Kevin.
Thank you. You take care, man. God bless.
Have a great week. God bless you. Yes, sirree. That's Mr. Kevin Altenburg from Illinois. And what a fantastic time we had with that interview today with him. I know everybody is going to be talking about this one for a while. And as we promised, here's that song by Bill Withers called Lean on Me. You'll remember it right from the start.
Sometimes in our lives, we all have pain, we all have sorrow. But if we are wise, we know that there's always tomorrow.
Lean on me when you're not strong, and I'll be your friend. I'll help you carry on. For it won't be long till I'm gonna need somebody to lean on. Please swallow your pride. If I have things you need to borrow, for no me, brother.
Man, what a sound that band had. That, of course, is Freeze Dried off of the recording Deliberate Confusion. A Bill Withers tune called Lean on Me. Hey, we want to say hello once again to Rick Beekler.
There is a love that you have to bear, that you can't carry. Right up the road, and I'll share your load. If you just call me. If you need a friend, oh baby, call me. You just call on me, brother.
Yeah, that's Freeze Dried, a little bit of Linda's polka. Hey, we want to remind you guys, you are taking a look at a screen right now that is indicating the Buffalo Polka Booster 55th Annual Summer Picnic, and that is going to be featuring the guys next that we're going to be bringing up, and that's the Band 7, Ricky Crew, and the gang, and that comes up on Sunday, July the 13th, 2025, and that is going to be from 2 p.m. to 7 p.m. It's going to be held at that new location, the same one as last year, which was just a fantastic time. Everybody had a wonderful get-together there, and we're speaking of Clocks Grove at 1245 Seneca Creek Road in West Seneca, New York. Hey, you do want to make your reservations because they are only going to be taking pre-orders for the tickets. You cannot show up at the door, unfortunately. Jerry usually does a better detail than I do with this, but admission for members is only $35 and guests are $40. Children up to the age of 12 are free. And you definitely want to get a hold of Chris Tansky. And you can give her a shout at 716-771-1076. She'll be able to help you out. Right now, here's a song that we promised by 7. And of course, the food is going to be served from 3 to 6 p.m. You've got hot dogs, hamburgers, Italian sausage with peppers and onions, and a whole lot more. Hey, Chris Tansky just mentioned that the tickets are going fast for that event.
Gdzie byś moja była, na rączkę bym się nosił. Gdzie byś moja była, gdzie byś moja była, na rączkę bym się nosił. Na rączkę bym się nosił i ładnie odcałował. Śpiże moja miła, śpiże moja miła, oj będę polała. Śpiże moja miła, śpiże moja miła, oj będę polała. Na rączkę bym się nosił i nawet ugotował. Do łóżka bym się niósł, do łóżka bym się niósł i ładnie odcałował. Do łóżka bym się niósł, do łóżka bym się niósł i ładnie odcałował.
Yes, sirree, that's the Sound of Seven, Ricky Crew and the gang, and they're going to be entertaining you over at that big 55th annual summer picnic. And Chris Tansky did want to also remind everybody tickets are going fast for this event, and she has sold a lot of them, not even at the meeting. She's having people giving her a call saying, hey, we need 1, 2, or 3 tickets, so make sure that you get a hold of Chris Tansky at 716-771-1076, and she will be more than happy to assist.
Let's have a party all night long. All night long. Polka music's going strong. Here we go. Let's have a party all night long. All night long, everyone will sing along. 'Cause it's a good time all night long. All night long, polka music's going strong. And you will see so many bands from across this big old land playing all your favorite songs. Tell your friends to come along, we'll have a party all night long. All night long, everyone will sing along. 'Cause it's a good time all night long. All night long, polka music's going strong. Hey, hey. Let's have a party all night long. All night long, everyone will sing along. 'Cause it's a good time all night long. All night long, polka music's going strong. And it's that rockin' polka beat, it's gonna sweep you off your feet. Well, there's nothing that compares where polka music's in the air. We'll have a party all night long. All night long, everyone will sing along. 'Cause it's a good time all night long. All night long, polka music's going strong.
time to make plans for the Summer Music Fest in Frankenmuth, Michigan. Join us August 6th through the 9th for Summer Music Fest 2025. 4 days with some of the nation's most popular polka bands, including Polka Family, Frankie Lischka and Blue Magic, polka country musicians, Lenny Gomulka and the Chicago Push, New Brass Express, Stephanie, America's Polka Sweetheart, Dennis Plisky and the Maestros Men, John Gura and Gorali, Buffalo's Concertina All-Stars, Michael Costa and the Beat, Jimmy Weber and the Sounds, and the Dynaversa Stick Tonaires. Held in the huge 28,000 square foot Harvey Kern Pavilion with the biggest dance floor around. Music, drinks, food, friends, and fun are all part of Frankenmuth, Michigan's #1 tourist attraction and one of the nation's premier polka events, the Summer Music Fest. For all the information, go to frankenmuthfestivals.com or call us at 1-800-FUN-FEST. The Summer Music Fest in Frankenmuth, Michigan, August 6th through the 9th. The Summer Music Fest is brought to you in part by Drury Hotels and Fabiano Brothers.
And make sure you make your reservations for that location. And also, while you're at it, how about Seven Springs?
The #1 polka party, 50 years and counting. That's right, we're celebrating 50 years at the Polka Fireworks at the Seven Springs Mountain Resort. Make plans today to join us July 2nd, 3rd, 4th, and 5th with this year's musical entertainment by Lenny Gomulka and the Chicago Push, Frankie Lischka's Blue Magic, The Beat, Buffalo's Concertina All-Stars, the Dynabrass, Crusade, John Gura, Larry Trojak's Live It Up, the Maestro Men, the Polka Family, and also Ryan Joseph from Nashville and his All-Star Jam Band. There's going to be the Litwin Concertina Jam, volleyball tournament, so don't wait. Make your room reservations today by calling the Seven Springs at 855-947-0438, and don't forget to ask about the Polka Fireworks room rate. You can give Bel Air a call at 708-594-5182. Make plans today to join us for the 50th anniversary of the Polka Fireworks, taking place at the Seven Springs Mountain Resort.
50 years, can't believe it. Congratulations to Tish Blazonczak, Eddie, Tony, and all the Blazonczak family, Kathy as well. You guys deserve a big round of applause for that. Are you going to say hello to Alice Fischler? She's joining us. Also, Andrew Boychuk. Hello to you, Andy.
When I was just a boy, I knew a girl. We grew up in our special little world. We fell in love, then broke up and back again, hoping that someday our true love can begin. We said this time we can make it last. This time trouble's in the past. This time true love is on our side. This time we both understand through time, going hand in hand. This time, forever this time. Well, that time was not enough. We failed once more. We dated others just to see what was in store. Then one day a light came shining from above. It said to her and I that we were meant to love. We said this time we can make it last. This time trouble's in the past. This time true love is on our side. This time we both understand through time, going hand in hand. This time, forever this time. We said this time we both understand through time, going hand in hand. This time, forever this time.
Oh, yeah, there you go. Forever this time. That's Michael Costa and The Beat. And we have another song coming up. We want to get this one out especially for Alice Fischler. She requested this one. Another freeze-dried tune. Here's one called Tomorrow There's a Wedding.
Jest małe miasteczko po secie, ja mieszkam i ja tam kocham, bo piękny jest tam. Kiedy spojrzysz na nie, widzisz lasy i góry i zielone pola z pięknymi kwiatkami. Tam jest piękny mały kościół w moim mieście, pieści drodze za starym mostem. Jutro rano w swoim kościele będzie dzwonił, bo w tym małym kościele będzie wesele. Przy małym miasteczku stoi panna Mora, ładnie wygląda, pięknie ubrana. Świeci słoneczko i ptasięta śpiewają. Dzisiaj jest godzina naszego wesela. Muzykanci zaczynają grać wesoło. Wszyscy śpiewają, skocznie tańcują. Jak teraz tańcują z moją najmilejszą. I ja nigdy nie zapomnę tej chwile.
Oh yeah, polka music at its finest, freeze-dried by request. Hey, we want to remind everybody about that upcoming weekend. That's right, it is coming up next Thursday, Friday, Saturday, and Sunday. And we're speaking of none other than the United States Polka Association Festival and Convention taking place May 22nd through the 25th. And let's just give you, the 25th. And we want to make sure that we let you know who all is playing, because Jack Beachley's Jam Band gets things off and running on May the 22nd at the Lounge. That is from 6 to 10 p.m. Then on Friday, the 23rd in the Ballroom, it's the New Tones, Eddie Foreman Orchestra, Polka Family, and they're going to be alternating all evening long from 6 p.m. until 1 a.m. Admission is only $25 for this. We also want to let you know that Thursday night, there is no admission. That's a free admission dance, and you are going to get a chance to see Jack Beachley and some of the band members that he has selected this year for the Jam Band. Then on Saturday, you've got in the Lounge Ethnic Jazz taking the stage from 12:30 to 3:30, and then in the Ballroom on the 24th, Saturday, that again is $25 admission from 4 p.m. until 1 a.m. You're going to hear the music of the Dynaversa Sticktonaires, DVSTA, Polka Mojo, New Generation, and also, let's see here, they are going to be alternating throughout the course of the evening as well. Once again, from 4 p.m. until 1 a.m. Then on Sunday, the 25th, in the ballroom. Once again, $25 admission. It's 2 p.m. until 1 a.m. Music by the Mon Valley Push, John Gurra and Gorale, and then also PCM in the evening with a Dynabrass. They're going to be alternating. Hey, folks, you do want to make sure that you get your hotel reservation because it's back at the original hotspot again. And that, of course, we're talking about the Holiday Inn in Independence, Ohio at 6001 Rockside Road in Independence. If you need to get the telephone number, well, it's right here. It's 216-524-8050. That's 216-524-8050 for the Holiday Inn reservations. Please make sure that you get a room, as Chris Tansky always says, get a room. And let's see, we've got a nice waltz coming up for you guys. Here's one by Stephanie, America's Polka Sweetheart. Here's one called Lonely Without You Waltz.
The
Hey, that, of course, is the Golden Voice, the America's Polka Sweetheart. Golden Voice was Marion Lush. Sorry about that. You know, I'm trying to do a couple of things at once, and I wanted to get these on before Chris Curtis goes each do domu spać. He had sent a couple of tickets that, oh boy, does this bring back some memories or what, Chris? Let me go ahead and bring them up here on the screen right now and just take a look at those. Some of the older tickets from admissions and also the polka clubs, as a matter of fact. Well, let's see here. Polka Ambassadors Club, that was out of Pennsylvania, a courtesy card. I don't know if that was just to get you out of jail or what, or get you out of not going to jail. But let's go ahead and bring up a song by Eddie Blazonczyk and the Versatones. And we're going to send this one out especially for Pete and Sue Wojcik. They're going to be over there at the USPA Convention and Festival this coming week. And we can't wait to see everybody there. It's going to be a lot of fun. Here's one called Getting Old Polka. Hey, hello and good evening and good night to Lisa and Greg Skowronek down there in the Ville.
Stary, ja se stary, moja broda siwa, która pójdzie za mnie, będzie nieszczęśliwa. Która pójdzie za mnie, będzie nieszczęśliwa. Stary, ja se stary, stary jak motyka, ale jak zaśpiewam, nie trzeba słowika. Ale jak zaśpiewam, nie trzeba słowika.
Hey folks, also that big reminder, don't forget to catch YouTube next week Saturday, the 24th from 7 to 9 p.m. It's only going to be on YouTube, not on Facebook, and that is the Mike Burka interview when he was on the show, and I want to say maybe that was around March or something like that. I can't really remember offhand. All these days and weeks and months are just conglomerating into one huge ball, if you will. Hey, and then also on Monday, the 26th, Memorial Day, don't forget to catch the rebroadcast of Polka Motion. It's the final Polka Motion with Greg Schwoidach, Monday from noon until 2. So that will be on Facebook and also on YouTube from what we understand. So make sure noon to 2 on Monday, you catch that as well with Greg's final Polka Motion. Hey folks, have yourselves a great week. We do want to make sure that you have an awesome time at USPA if you're heading out there. If you're not, well, shame on you. You should be. And Chris Tansky, thank you very much for the anniversary. Yeah, Jerry and I will be married 1 year on Tuesday, the 20th. Can't believe it.
Kwiaty jeszcze lubię.